Hi there, and today I'm going to talk about 4 ways to know when you're triggered. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more Christ-centered brain rewiring tips. So today I'm going to be talking about something that's really important, but it's often overlooked, and that's being triggered by negative thoughts and negative emotions. So when I say triggered, I mean you're going into negative thoughts and emotions, and then probably negative behaviors as well. So most people don't even realize when they're being triggered, and that can really keep you stuck in unhealthy thought patterns, cause a lot of chaos in your nervous system. But when you become aware of your triggers, it's powerful because you can change how you respond and wire in a new response. With time, you're actually going to rewire your brain to respond in positive, Christ-like ways. So stick around because I'm also going to share how you can join my free brain rewiring challenge at the end of this video. So let me give you a personal example of this. So before I discovered brain rewiring, I was constantly triggered by negative thoughts, negative emotions, and I seriously had no idea. If I lost something, I would get so mad, I would storm around the room saying, why, complaining, telling my husband to help me. When technology didn't work the way I wanted it to, I'd get completely frustrated. Little things would set me off. When things were too loud, I was really noise sensitive. And I was carrying around just this anger and this stress. Does this sound familiar to you? What tends to set you off? Let me know in the comments below. But here's the thing. If you're not aware of when you're triggered, you're going to stay stuck in those same emotional cycles. So today I want to help you identify your triggers by sharing 4 signs that can help you recognize when you're being triggered. So number 1 is when you raise your voice. So one of the clearest signs that you've been triggered is when you raise your voice. Maybe you're having a conversation and then suddenly, without even realizing it, your voice gets louder and you can just almost see this aggressive anger in your voice. You start to speak aggressively, harshly, more than you even intended to. And it's so easy for emotions to slip into our tone of voice. And raising your voice is a signal that something deeper is going on. You're likely triggered by an emotion, right? You have frustration and anger and it's showing up in your voice. So think about the last time that you raised your voice. What triggered you? Was it something you said, something you did, something someone else did? Share your experience in the comments below. So number 2, you can't stop thinking about a negative situation or a trial. Sometimes this can be called rumination. So this is big, especially if you tend to overthink and you get stuck in this rumination. Another sign that you're triggered is when you can't stop thinking about this person, this trial, this negative situation. Your mind keeps replaying the same scenario over and over. Maybe you're thinking about something in the past or you're worried about something in the future. Maybe you're dealing with symptoms of chronic illness and your mind is just constantly fixated on how bad you feel. Or perhaps there's a financial situation that's been weighing heavily on you, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to stop stressing out. Or think about times when maybe your kids misbehave. It's easy to get stuck replaying the moment in your mind, asking yourself, why won't they just listen to me? Why can't they just behave? Maybe something's wrong with my kids. You start obsessing over how to fix it and how to control it. And it just keeps you in this state of frustration. Another common example is replaying past conversations, whether it's something someone said to you that maybe someone hurt you in the past. And you keep thinking, man, why did they say that? How could they do that to me? And you find yourself reliving the situation and imagining all the things you wish you could have said or done differently. So ruminating on negative circumstances or past conversations is a huge trigger for stress and inflammation and anxiety. So it can lead you to just figuring it all out, but instead it pulls you deeper, into negative emotions. Maybe you are ruminating on someone else. It leads to bitterness and resentment and anger, and none of that is beneficial to healing. So do you ever find yourself replaying situations or conversations in your head? Maybe you're worried about what someone thinks of you. You have more of the social anxiety and you're a people pleaser and all of that. Okay, number 3 is you feel physically distressed. So the mind and body are deeply connected. So when you're emotionally triggered, it often shows up in your body. So one way to tell when you're triggered is if you start to feel physically stressed and tense. Maybe you have a racing heart, shallow breathing, or even just feel this physical tenseness. You might also notice that your mind feels foggy or tired, and it's almost like your body is in this state of stress. And that's because when you're emotionally triggered, it can activate this fight or flight stress response in the brain. This creates physical symptoms and making it hard to think clearly or stay calm. So have you ever noticed your heart pounding or your mind feeling really cloudy when you feel stressed? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your experience. And number 4 is you feel emotionally low. So maybe you feel irritable, angry, sad, anxious, without really a clear reason. And this is another sign that you're being triggered. When something sets you off emotionally and you have this negative response, it can leave you feeling really emotionally drained or weighed down. So these feelings can show up and they suddenly linger around after the triggering event has even passed. And you might notice that you're really short-tempered, you're irritable, you're easily annoyed, maybe you're feeling sad or discouraged or even hopeless about certain situations. And so if you're experiencing these low emotions more often than not, and they just kind of come out of nowhere and you're up and down like an emotional roller coaster, it might be a sign to stop and check whether something has triggered you. So you can go back to your thoughts, pay attention to your thoughts, because a lot of times when we're in negative emotions, we're also thinking negatively because our thoughts are connected to our emotions. If we're thinking about positive thoughts, we're in positive emotions. So when you become aware of these triggers, you can take back control over how you respond. Instead of letting negative thoughts and emotions run the show, you can choose to respond in a positive, godly, uplifting way. And the more you practice this, the more you're going to wire your brain to respond healthier in the future. So here's a few Bible verses that can really encourage you when dealing with triggers. So James 1:19-20, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. This verse reminds us to slow down before reacting and seek godliness in how we respond. Philippians 4:6-7, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So instead of ruminating on negative thoughts, bring your worries to God and receive his peace, because it's available to all of us. So Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. This reminds us that how we respond can either bring peace or fuel more anger. A gentle response rewires our brain for calmness and for peace. And so if you're ready to take control of your triggers and start rewiring your brain for healing, I invite you to join my free Brain Rewiring Challenge. You can go ahead and check out the link down below, and let's begin to create healthier thought patterns that can even change our physical health, help us get rid of physical symptoms as well. Once again, the link is in description. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Christ-centered brain rewiring tips. And be sure to like, comment, and share this video if you found it helpful.